Hello again, I'm Jake.
And I'm Alex.
Welcome back to the show. And today, in light of April Fool's Day, we're going to be taking a look at a classic video put out by Noah Antwiler, aka the Spoony One, a once pretty huge and influential content creator. He's, as many may know, not exactly as active as he once was, but he did a lot of great classic videos that still hold a lot of weight and a lot of very impressive reviewing style. So I thought, let's go back a little, and a few years ago I did a reaction to his parody of Atop the Fourth Wall, Linkara, the comic book reviewer show, where he copied Linkara reviewing a Star Wars comic book.
Okay.
And this video from 12, 13 years ago, I think, is where he tried to parody / imitate the Cinema Snob.
Oh.
This particular video is called the Spoony Snob.
Okay.
And the review is for this Jesus, hard to pronounce his name, Jess Franco movie, Revenge in the House of Usher.
Okay.
No idea how close it is to the Edgar Allan Poe story, but this was the movie he chose to review in his attempt to be the
Cinema. Different style, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, attempt to be the Cinema Snob. So, without further ado, let's watch.
All right.
The classic Cinema Snob theme.
Yeah.
Crazy to think most modern fans probably don't know this was once the theme song. It's been a while since he's used it.
God, I'm tired of this. Why can I never get a movie with a decent story? I always get the violent shits, or movies with killer turkeys in them, or Ninja Turtles porking each other. As a Cinema Snob,
Brad's reviewed Ninja Turtle porn.
Intellectually.
He's got the posters.
My collection high.
Yeah, Caligula.
That fits the bill. An adaptation of a true literary classic.
And what better classic than a movie based on Edgar Allan Poe's Tale of Evil, Revenge in the House of Usher, Zombie 5.
It definitely has the localization down.
Oh my god. Zombie 5? Another Zombie 5?
Oh, damn it. You know, somehow I doubt that Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Fall of the House of Usher as a sequel to Zombie 4.
And no, this isn't just a repackaged Zombie 5 killing birds, and it isn't some obscure alternate title some asshole added to IMDb just to torment me. If you type in Revenge in the House of Usher into IMDb, it actually redirects to Zombie 5.
2.7 out of 10.
This is the first exact match you get. So as far as I can tell, this movie is pretty much the officially recognized 5th movie in the zombie series. Wait a minute, the Big Tits Dragon? What? AKA the Big Tits Dragon, Hot Spring Zombies versus Strippers 5. Thank God it was made.
Why is he reviewing that movie?
That means I don't have to review it.
Besides, I pretty much gave up on that series after the Big Tits Dragon, Hot Spring Zombies versus Strippers 2. After that, it just started getting repetitive.
Anyway,
He's also copying how Brad was barefoot in his early years.
Which looks more like the castle.
I don't miss that.
Fu Manchu. Wait a minute. That might actually be the Castle of Fu Manchu. Who the fuck directed this? A film by A.M. Frank. Huh. Never heard of it. That name's nowhere on the box. The box says this was directed by J.P. Johnson. IMDb says...
Aliases.
Jesus Franco. Jess Franco. Oh, God. Oh, man. Jess Franco's the guy who actually made the Castle of Fu Manchu. He's so fucking bad.
Mystery Science Theater.
Theater couldn't save it. He's the guy who made Sadomania. But Zombie 5 he's so ashamed of, he had to come up with 2 fake names.
To be fair, I don't know that it's actually the same castle, but Jess Franco was well known for shooting several movies at the same location. As we'll see, it's not the only thing Jess likes to recycle. This is gonna suck.
Good morning. My name is Alan Hacker. Dr. Usher wrote me. He asked me to come and see him urgently.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. Dr. Usher here wrote him a letter saying he's sick and needs help. But mentally he's so far gone, he doesn't even remember writing it, and he's gone completely batshit paranoid.
The town council has ordered me to stop my experiments. Dr. Stegmeyer and the ghost of Theodore Cretin Militiamen are after me. There they are.
Bad dubbing.
Wait, you stupid fairies! By the way, have you met my friend Harvey? But all is not as it seems at the House of Usher. Oh, wait, no. Everything is exactly as it seems because in the first moments of the movie, it seems like a death cult run by a mad scientist, and that's exactly what it is. I assure you, what's happening here is nowhere near as sexy as it sounds. Dr. Usher even has a weird-eyed shambling henchman named Morpho. A tragic cloning accident with a human being and a piñata.
Okay.
He looks like a character from Team America World Police. After the women Dr. Usher has chained up in the dungeon for his scientific experiments. Those experiments appear to be centrally based around the question that's been plaguing mankind for all eternity. Can you inflate a woman's breast with a basketball pump? And they called him mad.
Mad.
A plague in both their houses.
Actually, he's harvesting their blood because it's the secret of eternal life, but I'll be damned if these ladies don't sound like they're really enjoying it.
Nothing says turn on like torture.
I hope this doesn't turn into a porno. When Jess Franco isn't busy making garbage like the Castle of Fu Manchu, he's a prolific pornographer, well known for making Z-grade titty flicks like The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein, The Super Witches of the Rio Amore, and Two Female Spies with Flowered Panties, which is oddly specific.
Oh my gosh.
And kind
Very
of
honest title.
Maybe this movie should turn into a porno. At least that way, something would fucking happen.
But there's something I must do before I tell you about my research and
What are you doing, Dr. Usher?
Oh god, no, what's he doing? I take it back.
Looks like he's about to blow him.
I'm a murderer. I murdered many women. I murdered in the name of love. I
Call the
killed
police.
for science.
And that's basically how Dr. Usher introduces himself, by outright declaring he's a mass murderer and mad scientist. This never really seems to sink into poor Hacker here, whose basic reaction to everything is to squint uncomprehendingly at it, as if someone were explaining how to solve quadratic equations for the first time. Instead of being alarmed by this confession, Hacker just chalks it up to Usher being old and crazy and agrees to stay the night in the castle. But he's awakened in the night by the tortured moans of the captive women in the dungeon, so he goes down there to investigate. He goes down there very, very slowly. We see every fucking step he takes.
This thing looks like it was shot on videotape. Oh. Are we sure this isn't a porno?
I get it! He's walking! Move on!
It takes him 3 minutes to reach the dungeon, and even when he's looking directly at a cage full of tortured women, he doesn't look alarmed or concerned, just kinda confused. Stupid.
Please, get us out. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, that's the first question you ask.
Who locked you up?
Great. Well, it's finally happened. I finally found a worse voiceover actor than Barry from Resident Evil.
What does he keep you locked up for?
Our blood. He wants our blood.
You mean he drains you of your blood?
God, yes! That's what she fucking said! What planet is this guy from?
He goes on to find Dr. Usher in his lab, tampering in God's domain. And by the way, we're now 30 minutes into this piece of shit, and still no zombies.
How dare you violate the private chapel?
You're a monster.
He told you he was.
Murdering monster.
Finally, a couple of lonely, atrophied synapses begin to fire in Hacker's brain, and he decides he should probably get out of there.
She will live. She will come to life again. If necessary, I'll sacrifice eyeballs.
Wait, why did he fall down? He didn't trip on anything.
Sacrifice eyeballs.
What's with that half-hearted grunt he makes?
Sacrifice eyeballs.
It's our hero, a guy who tripped over his own shoelaces and knocked himself out, despite the fact he's not wearing any shoelaces. Don't believe this guy is the biggest idiot ever born yet? When he wakes up in bed the next morning, he immediately chalks the whole thing up to being a nightmare, even though the whole reason he was asleep in the first place was that he gave himself a concussion.
What a horrible nightmare.
You know what? You've got mountain fever. It happens
I
occasionally.
can't see anything.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Genuine old mountain fever. It happens to people who don't know the mountains and gives them nightmares, fever, and horrible headaches.
That is a plausible
Good to know.
explanation, and I, Dr. Alan Hacker, believe you completely. Later that day, Dr. Usher calls Hacker into his study and sets him to work taking dictation for his memoirs.
Pick up your pen and start writing.
You want me to take down what you say?
That's right. As faithfully as you can. I, Eric Vladimir Usher, born in Prague.
We don't need the whole will.
Born in Prague.
When I was about a child.
Wait, slow down, you're going too fast. The accent gummed up, damn it. Dr. Usher starts telling him about all the women he stalked and murdered over the course of 200 years, seeking a scientific cure for his comatose sister Melissa. And this is
Think
where
you're a little
the movie
late for
is
that.
completely off the rails. About half this movie is flashback footage lifted directly from a virtually identical mad scientist movie Jess Franco made in 1961 called The Awful Dr. Orloff, the first in a long-running series of Dr. Orloff movies starring the same guy.
It ain't stealing if you take it from yourself.
Yeah. A repackaged Dr. Orloff movie. Even the characters are exactly the same because there's a weird-eyed henchman named Morpho in those movies too. The only thing Jess Franco did was take an old Dr. Orloff script and replace the word Orloff and changed it to Usher. About half this movie is told in repurposed old footage.
Because why bother shooting new footage when you can make half your movie from other movies you've already shot? Worked so
Yeah.
well for Crazy Fat Ethel. Oh wait, no it fucking didn't!
Movie Brad review.
Watch a clip from Dr. Orloff, cut back occasionally to show Hacker writing it all down and not reacting at all before going back to another Dr. Orloff clip.
I've never seen it. Their moans, their screams.
Honesty is key.
Life which had grown singularly dull.
Any of this getting through, Alan? No? Man, I'm barely paying attention. This mountain fever is kicking my ass. I haven't even talked about the 45 minutes of padding in Zombie 5. Most of it consists of watching Morpho just sitting around staring at Dr. Usher's sister and repeating the word Melissa for 3 minutes at a time. But we can't even get to that.
Yeah.
Most times, the padding scene can't even start until Morpho finishes walking into the room and hitting his mark. And believe me, that can take a fucking long time. That's right. In this movie, even the padding has padding.
Manos. The hands of fate. Although I don't think Manos dragged on this much.
Every step.
It's like Journey said, the movie goes on and on and on. Never ends. Somebody better blow a gasket.
Do something!
Morpho, is the meal ready? Yes, Doctor. Good. Insert it in the character.
Well, put it down. Yes, Matthias.
Stay where you are, Matthias. And we need you.
Yes, sir.
Fuck you! I can't tell who's talking!
The dubbing in this movie is so fucking bad. It sounds like these guys recorded their ADR by shouting down 50 feet of fucking garden hose.
It isn't my body that's sick. It's my soul.
I personally think the best part of this movie is Jess Franco's iconic cinematography. Focus on the sky, gentlemen. That blank, featureless sky. Oh, the couple
move the camera a little.
I guess we can leave that shot. Just cram them over to the far right and crop the attractive girl out completely. Perfect. Wait a minute. Could it be an actual zombie 66 minutes in?
Come any closer.
Porno Holocaust had more zombies.
Let me cut back, and nope, it turns out he was just hallucinating. Damn fever. Does it count if everyone in this movie walks like a zombie? It's not until 78 minutes in that we see something that might pass for a zombie. Maybe.
Yeah.
It looks more like Weird Al with a hangover.
I need a sip of blood, and you know I like yours best.
Oh, of course. Must be one of those zombies that talks normally and drinks blood. There's not going to be any zombies in this movie, is there?
A zombie or vampire, I don't know. Turns out to be Dr. Usher's wife, back for revenge.
She has a
after being
wife?
murdered in another Dr. Orloff movie. How did she become a vampire? I don't know, but she's got kind of a funny way of seeking vengeance.
I am going to make love with you. My last gift to you.
I don't want to see that.
Kiss me.
Okay, look, I know that reaction might have sounded a little bit silly, but if you were to wake up to find yourself suddenly making out with a woman with 70 years of stored up gingivitis and morning breath, you'd probably make that noise too.
Is she even kissing him?
I don't know what's happening.
I imagine that dried out zombie fat is like sticking your dick in a styrofoam block. Hacker wakes up to find the housekeeper waiting to seduce him.
Where'd she come from?
Blame her. What woman could possibly resist that manly mane of hair and Chuck Norris beard?
I want to make love with you. We don't have much time.
Oh, don't worry, ma'am. I don't take that much time.
Wait a minute, where does Vampire Wife go? What, did she just fuck him and leave? And why is the servant standing there too? We heard him get killed! Is he the zombie? Well, that's pretty much the last straw for the good doctor here. He goes postal and issues the ultimate cockblock on Hacker by cutting the woman's throat just before he gets to second base. And then he rampages rather slowly back into the dungeon where some more goth women blindfold him and dance around him singing Three Blind Mice.
Okay, that's scary.
What? How would the zombies in your movie act?
Eventually, Dr. Usher dies of boredom, I guess, and the house collapses for no reason. Pretty much the same way Castle of Fu Manchu ended, if I recall correctly. Oh, and hey, Melissa finally woke up. Oh, and Hacker just sort of wanders away from the whole thing, having done and learned exactly nothing.
I'll never know whether the tale Dr. Usher told me
And
is
nothing was
true.
learned.
His sick mind made it all. In fact, I was never able to distinguish myself between what happened and my own hallucinations. The truth lies buried beneath the stones thicket.
What the fuck does that mean?
Interest in this guy's endless droning. Yeah, fuck it, you're not listening. Let's just hold friends and get this shit done with.
Basically, this movie ends with our protagonist not knowing what the fuck just happened, or indeed, if anything fucking happened at all. Well, at least I now know I wasn't the only one. This movie has less closure than Monster fucking a Go-Go. Hell, this movie at least had more zombies in it.
Did you understand? My hands. Like, what?
Okay. That's,
That movie was truly awful.
I don't know what to call that.
Yeah.
Before we get into Spoony, all I can say is that looks really boring.
I just kept thinking, like, when that originally came out, who's sitting in the theater through that entire movie and not leaving?
I don't even know.
If it got to a theater, I don't know.
Hard to say. A lot of just Franco's later shit went direct to video.
Okay.
But I don't know, just he made a lot of sleazy movies. A lot of them exploitation, a lot of them sexual, a lot of lesbians. Hard to say. Just
No zombies.
yeah. Very misleading title. And let's get to the main thing about this. Spoony's Cinema Snob impression.
I thought he did a great job. I thought the vocalization was all there. I thought the style was there. I mean, there's certain points where if you closed your eyes, it felt like it was actually him.
He doesn't sound exactly like Brad,
No.
but
Yep.
you're right. He gets like the speech pattern, the inflections down pretty good.
Yeah.
And like when he does the voiceover stuff, where we don't see him, that's when he sounds the most like him. And The black suit getup, the slicked back hair, and the glasses.
Yeah, the setting.
Yeah, it totally works. And it was two things that stand out as nice touches was when we see his bare foot, because in his early years, the Cinema Snob had a tendency to review things barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do that now, thank God, but that was what he did. And also at a convention, Louis Lovehog, Linkara, praised how Spoony added, he made the picture, it's more clear than the early years of Brad's show.
Mm.
But an extra nice touch was he added the hiss from Brad's old camera.
Oh, yes, I picked up on that as the review went on.
Yeah, I had a camera, kind of like the one Brad had, the high 8 tape camera. And those things can sound like a fucking diesel engine. And also, as you pointed out, he had the posters hanging up.
Yeah.
We saw one for Caligula, which Brad always has hanging up, at least before he moved to the new house. And also, I noticed a poster for Zardoz.
Okay.
Which was, I don't know if you know what Zardoz is.
No.
It's a sci-fi, kind of a sci-fi fantasy movie. It's best known for starring Sean Connery, like when he was on hiatus from James Bond.
Okay.
It's best known for the image of Sean Connery with a ponytail and a red leather Speedo.
Wow.
Very sexy. And Zardoz is actually, I don't know what Spoony thinks of it. He may have just put that poster up for the sake of the review. But I do know that Brad has said Zardoz is one of his all-time favorite movies.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it has the opening line. It has its most notable line of dialogue is, "The gun is good, the penis is evil."
Okay. Let's remember that.
Overall, it's fun. The movie looks like it'd be dreadful to sit through. And I love Spoony, and I think he does good impression. I will say, though, nothing can beat the original himself.
Oh, sure, but a worthy attempt.
Yeah, good parody. And hope you have a fun little April Fool's Day. Don't do anything that will get you arrested, and we'll see you again hopefully soon.
All right, sounds good. Happy spring.